is an interview that you'll only see on News West 9 today. Governor Greg Abbott is joining us live to talk more about what is happening at the border. Governor, thank you so much for being here. Now, you call what's happening at the border a crisis, and let me tell you, and I'll be very frank, us here locally, we're flat out frustrated with what is happening, not only at the border, but specifically at these holding facilities that are being set up. You know, information has been very hard to come by for us. For our local leaders, have you been able to get any new information today?
So we are dealing with the exact same frustrations that you are, and I would call it anger, because the Biden administration not only has dropped the ball and been ill prepared, but the Biden administration is not sharing information, whether it be with the press or whether it be with public officials. And we're doing everything we can all day long to learn about what's going on. And we learn on a moment by moment basis, just as you have learned momentarily, exactly what's happening with the new addition of additional people being sent to the Midland area, the pop-up area in Pecos, an additional area in Carrizo Springs, maybe them sending migrants to military bases across the state of Texas. It happens moment by moment, but it shows how ill-prepared the Biden administration was for their open border policies that were triggered the day that President Biden took office. This is their fault. They created this problem, but Texas is stepping up and trying to deal with these challenges and try to make sure that the people of Midland and Ector counties and the surrounding area are going to be as safe as possible.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. You know, like I just mentioned, and you did too, Governor, we don't know what exactly is happening inside of these facilities. We have not been allowed inside. We don't know what's going on. You know, we only learned about the water situation from the TCEQ when they notified our local state rep, Tom Craddock. So, you know, how can we learn or, you know, at least be at ease about what's happening inside these facilities?
Sure. So what we did as the TCEQ, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, they worked into me, and I sent them out there to determine if they even had quality water running out there, which they determined that they did not at that time. And the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality will continue to evaluate whether or not it is safe for drinking water, things like that. In the meantime, the federal government is mandated to provide bottled water for all of their water needs out there. In addition to that, we are sending other agencies out there, the State Department of Health Services, as well as Health and Human Services Commission, for two purposes. One is the State Department of Health Services is looking into the COVID exposure that may exist in Ector and Midland counties. Here's the situation, and that is, as you know and probably have reported, more than 10% of the migrants at that facility have tested positive for COVID. They expose themselves to adults. Are those adults going into Midland, either to a hotel or to a restaurant or whatever the case may be, and are they exposing others in Midland and Odessa to COVID? We need to know that. We have a public health issue that we have to get to the bottom of, and we will not be able to know that until we begin to get answers, and that is exactly why we are sending Texas officials in to these facilities to begin to extract the information we need to make sure that we maintain the health and safety of the people in the region.
Sure. Well, let's talk a moment about what is being done on the state level. You know, we have a team member along the border, and it's really we got to see some of our state resources. DPS troopers, they've been placed along the Rio Grande right there to act as a deterrent for people that are trying to cross over. Is there anything else that can be done at the state level, not only to get information, but hopefully to deter these people from coming across, because we don't know what to do with them or put them?
There is a lot that the state is doing as we speak. A couple of weeks ago, I deployed Operation Lone Star that included 1,000 Department of Public Safety officers as well as 1,000 National Guard. Let me tell you what they do. As the migrants surge across the border with the coordination of the cartels, that occupies all of the Border Patrol, and that leaves all this open space. The Texas Department of Public Safety, they fill that open gap, and it's the DPS officers who are now making apprehensions of people coming across the border. When we do it, we take extra measures that the Border Patrol do not take, such as we investigate crimes like human trafficking. Right. There are human traffickers in Texas that are a part of this process that we're trying to crack down upon, and that's exactly what the Texas Department of Public Safety is doing.
Certainly. Well, we're running short on time, Governor. Any last word or last message to our viewers at home?
we are going to stay on top of this first because our top priority is the health and safety of people in Ector and Midland counties and the surrounding area. But second, we're going to be pushing back against the Biden administration every step of the way until they secure the border as it was before he became president.
Governor Greg Abbott, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Take care.